Hello, darlings, and the warmest of welcomes to Thursday Night Live with me, your old chum Boaty. And I'm so happy to be here with you once again. I've been so excited about the prospect. I was literally clutching my little tinkle all the way when I was driving home, apart from when I was changing gear, because changing gear you need both hands really. And if you're going to drive and clutch your little tinkle with excitement, may I recommend an automatic? Thank you so much for joining me. Who has joined me? Let's have a look. Steve Colg. Oh, what a joy. What a joy. How are you? How are you, sir? Jimmy Quinn, the lovely Jimmy. Yeah, he's such a blessed puppet. Good evening, Boaty and all. Good evening to you. My favourite cheeseburger in the world. The only cheeseburger. I mean, I don't cheese. I'm not a cheeser. You know this, and for obvious reasons, it should be illegal. It's wrong. It's immoral. It's wrong on every level. So I've got no time for cheeseburgers, with the exception of our own General Cheeseburger, the ultimate grand master of shithousery. Honestly, if shithousery was sumo, then Cheeseburger would be a yokozuna like Gianna Fuji was. And I've got all the time in the world for him. I think he's wonderful. And I'm jolly glad he's here with us. Uh, Barry is here, that guy from SETI Alpha 5. Hello, Boaty and all. Boaty's World, sponsored by Podger, the world's leading manufacturer of pleasure. I should brand it, shouldn't I? I should I should brand Podger and Pottering lube and anyway, evening all says she's but oh that's nice. Um, Bad Books is here, who is called Christ. Right, it's Mark, isn't it? It is Mark. Bad Books is the one that is Mark. It's Skid Marks that isn't Mark, and I get confused because he's got Mark in his name, but he's not called Mark, which is very confusing. It doesn't take much to confuse me, darlings. I am a bear of little brain, and what little brain there, and what little brain I have, I shall now addle with a jolly well iced vodka and tonic. Now, what I do, my darlings, because I'm sure you'll be fascinated by this. I mean, allow me to show you my arse, my glass. Anyway, you can see that. So what I do, my little finger bowls of chili sauce, is I half fill a glass with some moist water and I pop it in Mr. Freezer and it freezes. So what I then have is a glass that is half ice. And then I pour the doings in and it's well, I find it's just a jolly convenient way of doing things. He says faffing about with ice cubes, and when the ice dissipates to a point where my drink is not sufficiently iced, I move on to the next glass. See, it's a jolly good system, and I would recommend it absolutely to all of you more discerning alcoholics. It's been a mad night, darlings. Mad night at the restaurant, an absolutely mad night. At the restaurant, it's been a mad night. It really has been a mad night, particularly at the restaurant. And if I were to describe how the night has been at the restaurant tonight, I would describe it as mad. It's been a bit of a mad night. Restaurant, heaving, heaving. Deliveries, shed loads. Collections, bundles. It's been a properly busy night. We really are ramping up to Christmas now. We really are. And I was annoyed at right. Where would you stand on this? Right, a business and possibly moral dilemma. Now, I like to take people on trust, at least until they give me reason not to trust them. But sometimes you can't do that. So, so um, when people have booked for Christmas Day, if it's a party of six or more, I've asked for a deposit because we are always, we could fill the restaurant 17 times over on Christmas Day. So for larger parties, I ask for a deposit. Now, a party of 7 people booked for Christmas Day and they paid in full. So their deposit was a payment in full. So that was £293.50. I think off the top of my head, 293.50. Now they rang up tonight and said that due to unforeseeable family circumstances, they were not going to be able to make their Christmas booking. And could they very kindly have a full refund, please? Over to you. Would you have given them that refund? And then I'll tell you what happened. Where did I get to? Gosh, Crivens, crumbs, Crivens. I love the word Crivens. And Jings. I like Jings as well. Jings and Crivens. Wonderful words. I mean, I love all words. Aren't words wonderful things? Isn't language a wonderful thing? Oh, and speaking of words and language, I have started reading the book that Neil and Sophie so very kindly gave me. And I can't remember what it's called or who wrote it. But when I do remember, I will urge you to go out and buy it. I've designated it as my toilet book. Now, I don't know about you, darlings, and what you have in your bathroom library. But for my toilet books, I like a particular type of book. So, not a novel, but the kind of book where every chapter is a thing in and of itself, if that makes any sense. So, for example, amongst my bathroom library, I have the whole set of Jeremy Clarkson's books because each little chapter is a thing in and of itself. It'll be one of his Sunday Times columns, or it'll be a car review, or it'll be a rant. And I find that works out very well. So if I'm having a seated wee, and all of my wees are seated, I will read one chapter. If if Mr. Brown is at reception, then I can read 2, 3, 4 chapters, depending on how long the proceedings take. And this book is of that form where each chapter is a little story in and of itself. So I decided it could be a toilet book. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. How far am I into the book? I'm about 5 wees and 2 poos into it. And it's excellent. You really must buy it. So Cheeseburg said evening all. Mark has said good evening all. And saying hello is none other than my bestest friend in the whole wide world, Captain Mustard of the most excellent Project Nigel channel. Yes, indeed, the hairy Paddington Jesus wannabe lookalike who strides the yard of dreams like a hirsute colossus stampeding across his kingdom. Or fiefdom. Fiefdom's a nice word, isn't it? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Only kidding. I'm only kidding, I am, Gav. I'm not a giant. I loved Uncle Bryn. Gavin and Stacey, one of my favourite television programmes of all time. Only kidding, I am. I'm not a giant. Good old Bryn. Anyway, Mustard said hello. Hello, Mustard. And Cheeseburg says, Mustard. Nice video today. I am very much looking forward to watching Mustard's video because I've got no idea what happened with my car. I've got no idea if it was fixed or partially fixed or semi-fixed or completely not fixed. Not a clue because nobody's told me. And like I said to you last night, I don't want to ask because that would be awful. I say, you know, this job that you gave up your time and your birthday and spent many pounds and many hours to come and do for nothing. Did you do it? I can't ask that. I can't ask that, and nobody's told me. So I'll watch the video and then I'll find out. Don't give me any spoilers now. Don't tell me what happened if you know. I'll watch the video and find out. After a vodka or two to cushion the potential disappointment. Oh, and in other yard and mustard news, now I'm not going to spoil the surprise of Mustard's video. Those of you who saw his Facebook, okay, so right, not entirely fixed. Neil, how not fixed is it? Is it not fixed as in I could get somebody to do it, or is it still not fixed as in you're going to have to come back in another 3 months or something? Well, good job I didn't get my hopes up. Poor old Brian. Where did I get to? Oh, yeah, I was talking about that, wasn't I? Those who, yeah, I know it's, yeah, I know, Neil, but the fixing that still needs doing, is it a fixing that I can get somebody to come to the yard to do, or is everybody just going to say, no, not doing that, not interested, and I'm going to have to wait until you get another week off in 3 or 4 months' time? I mean, I'd like to get him sorted now. I really would. If anybody, oh gosh, if anybody lives anywhere near the Yard of Dreams and knows a mechanic who has some spare time in the next 2 months, and oh right, oh okay, oh bless you, Neil. Oh dear, oh poor old Neil. He's got to come back next month. He's coming back in January. Oh well. Sorry, Captain, you're stuck with Brian for, well, I'm sorry, Brian as well. I'm sorry you're stuck there. Oh well. Might as well round it up to a year. Oh, poor old Brian. Oh, and I had visions of, oh well, there we are. There we are. Can't be helped. Um, oh yeah. So you might have seen Mustard's Facebook post, and there is a new Mustard and Boaty car in the yard. I've not seen it in person yet. I'll see it on Monday. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but what I can tell you is that I am already head over heels in love with it. I wish it was silver so that I could keep it. And if I love it when I see it in person, as much as I think I'm going to, then I'm going to buy one. I'm going to get rid of one or two of the fleet, find one in silver and buy it because it is just sensational and I adore it. Evening all, says Joe of Cars with JC, who I've spent, well, the last 3 days with, along with Neil and Soph. I've arrived back to Bude safely in Michael Jackson, that's his little Rover 25. Thanks to all for an incredible few days. Thank you, Joe. My God, you made the effort, my boy. That was a heck of a long drive. Glad you got back safely. Dan Peters, lovely. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great day, Mr. Boaty. That's very kind of you, Dan. I had, well, what sort of a day have I had? I had a much needed lie-in. I mean, I woke up early-ish, and then I kind of luxuriated and snoozed and finally got my ass out of bed at about 20 past 10. Came downstairs, made coffee, and then I just got lost in the edit suite. So much footage to sort through. Edit, try and upload. Still dealing with shortage of space on the iPad because I've not had a chance to play properly with the MacBook or the iMac yet. So I'm still editing on the iPad, which has only got I penny pinched, didn't I? Well, that's a problem when you put. It's only a 64 gig model. So as soon as I've got 2 or 3 days of footage knocking about on there, I really do start to struggle. But I've not done badly. I got 2 daily diaries out today, Monday and Tuesday. Put them out to channel members earlier on. Unfortunately, channel members didn't get the full 24 hours of exclusive access advert free as they normally would, because I opened them up to the public at sort of 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. So, well, they didn't even get 12 hours. They got about 10 hours to watch it exclusively and advert free. And then tomorrow, all being well, I will get Wednesday and Thursday done. And then we're up to date with the daily diaries. I'll just owe you a Boaty's Noshes. I'm going to do a separate video. Monday's daily diary, if you've seen it, I kind of skimped over the journey a little bit, because I'm going to do a full video, standalone video of the drive from in the ZT in Stigbert from Windy Bum to the top of the Horseshoe Pass. And the video will finish at the top of the Horseshoe Pass. But you'll have seen in the daily diary video, there's not much footage of the journey, but I've got a load of footage, including the whole of the Horseshoe Pass and other bits and pieces. So that will all go in there, and I'm going to try and do a bit of a polished job on it. I haven't done a non-daily diary video for a while, and I kind of miss doing them, trying to, do them a little bit more semi-professionally, if that makes any sense. And I've got a really good start to the video, I think. It's the one I put on Facebook. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll have seen the full sneak preview. If you saw it on the Boaty's World Facebook page or in the Boaty's World Facebook group, you only saw a minute of the sneak preview because it called it a reel and cut it off at 1 minute. Whereas on my personal profile, it's the full 1 minute, 40 seconds or whatever it is and the sneak preview is basically what will be the opening to the standalone video. And if you would like to be friends, talking about Facebook, do please find the Boaty's World Facebook page and give it a like and a follow, because I would dearly love to hit 3,000 page followers, and I'm very close. I'm 2,960 or 70 or something like that. So it'd be lovely to hit the 3K there. Do join the Facebook group if you're not already a member. There are, oh God, how many? I think there's about 780 of us in the Facebook group. Just search for Boaty's World on Facebook. And any of you lot that watch the lives or any of my videos, you are more than welcome to send me a friend request to my personal thing. Just search for the Reverend Boaty. My actual name is Jason Paddy Hughes. You can search for that if you want, but the Reverend Boaty is a bit more memorable. Let's get back to some of your lovely comments, you wonderful, joyful people. Oh, gosh. Okay, that little ping is from John. Let's have a look. Hi, Jason. I've not been well the last few days, and now I've ended up in hospital after I had some TIAs. I've now had a seizure and very nearly died from what they told me. They're going to do the clot removal while I'm here, as they are 99% sure that may have caused the seizure. So I'm very weak at the moment and just want this to stop now. John. Oh, gosh. Gosh. Oh, poor chap. Poor chap. Well, what can we say? You have all of our very best wishes, John. I'm not a million miles away from you. Others are even closer. If there's anything you need or anything that any of us can do while you're laid up in hospital for you or yours, just shout, and I'm sure we'll try our very best to make it happen. And you rest well, keep your strength up, and keep positive, mate. Keep positive. I mean, if they remove the clot, then that's a positive, isn't it? It's a step, and that's got to be a good thing. Even if everything is pants, it's still a positive step. Oh, that's a bit strong. Oh, ah. Oh, that'll make you wince. See, I've now got an iceberg. The ice has separated from the bottom of the glass, and I now have an iceberg, which has a greater cooling effect. Now, back in the old days, when I was really posh, I had a beautiful chrome Art Deco ice crusher. And in those days, I would fill the glass a third rather than half. So a third of the glass was iced. And then another third of the glass, I would crush ice with my beautiful Art Deco ice crusher and put crushed ice in. And but I no longer have the beautiful Art Deco ice crusher. I wonder what happened to that. I wonder what happened to that. Which of my various properties that got taken off me or I gave away, did I lose that in? And I can't remember. God, I honestly can't remember. That would have gone. It could have been in my flat in Cook Hill. It could have been in the flat above the showrooms. Could have been in the house in Cyprus. Could have been in the cottage in Devon. Didn't go to America, and I'm pretty sure it didn't make it up here. I'm sure I didn't have it when I was married. That was anyway. I haven't got it now, so there you are. Evening all, says Trisha Alderman, the lovely Trisha. Hope everyone's had a good day, and we hope you have too, Trish. Skick is here right now. Mitch says very nice of Ronnie Cray to help fix your car boat. It is indeed, Skick. Very kind of him indeed, and he's fully aware that he looks like Ronnie Cray. Oh, Mark says he's called Black Lines, not Skid Mark. Well, you can't blame me for getting confused. My apologies to Black Lines, who's not called Mark or Skid Mark. Dear, get myself in trouble here. Andrew's here. A very good evening, Boaty, and everyone. Good evening to you, sir. Neil is here. Hello, all. Hope we're all well. Cheeseburger says just put some water in the vodka bottle, freeze it, and drink neat from the bottle. Could do, I suppose. I mean, vodka shouldn't freeze unless it's a really cheap one. But I suppose if you watered it down, then it would. I like the theatre of the frozen glass. It pleases me. Pleased me even more when I had a really, really tall glass and did the crushed ice bit. God, I was such a bloody aspirational middle class tit. Sophie is here, the lovely Sophie. Hello, Boaty. How are you? And thank you for being with us this week. Thank you for your company, Sophie. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And hello to everyone else. How are you all? She goes on. Right. Okay, we're talking about the We're talking about the cancelled Christmas Day booking. The answers are coming in. Mustard says the deposit should be 10% non-refundable, shouldn't it? Okay, what do you think about that? Jimmy Quinn says yes, I would give them a refund just for goodwill. Okay, Jimmy. It wouldn't concern you that. Okay. Bad Books agrees with Jimmy. Goodwill and plenty of notice. That is a good point. I suppose it's the 7th of December, so that gives us 18 days to fill up that 7-person space, I suppose. So yeah, the notice is a good point. Cheeseburger has an opinion. Refund. It depends how much you value the reputation of the restaurant. I would keep the deposit until you can rebook the table and then refund the deposit. Refund the balance now. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Oh, John's not watching the live as he's on a quiet ward and he hasn't got any headphones. But his wife is going to bring him some in. So no doubt he'll catch up on this. And I'm sure that if you send good wishes in the comments, he will read them in due course. Andrew said, laminated books for your wipe down pleasure. And Cheeseburger said, he made that point in the book, actually, the author. What was his name? Caffrey, I think. Something Caffrey. He said, he, like me, he is a toilet reader. And also, he wrote this book. The majority of the book was written whilst he was on the toilet. And he said, if you've bought this book secondhand, then disinfect your hands after you've finished reading, because you don't know where that book has been. And I suppose that's an interesting point, actually, isn't it? Cheeseburger says, Andrew, Boaty's laminated Kama Sutra. You can wipe the pottering lube off it or lick it off if it's curry sauce flavour. Not fixed, says Cheeseburger. I wouldn't pay the bill. Oh, hang on. Andrew's got to go back to work. Have a fantastic night, everyone. I will take over from now, says Mustard. What, the live? Okay. Right. I'll go over here then. Leave you to it. So I will hand you over to your new host for the evening, the Hardy Paddington himself, Captain Mustard. Take it away. Don't actually take it away. I need it to edit on tomorrow. Oh, hang on. Hang on, that's just clicked. Right, he may be talking about Brian and the and the final bit of fixatory fixing. I mean, I suppose it's a good job I didn't order the exhaust, didn't it? Although I must find one. I must get one ordered off eBay. Hello, Carlos is here. Sell one or two of the fleet, says Joe, somewhat incredulously. I'd like to see that happen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, kind of guilty as charged. Well, I mean, in theory, I'm all in favour of selling some of the fleet. It's just in practice, I think, well, which one am I going to sell? And then whenever I go through them, each one, I think, well, I can't sell that. And then I move on to the next one. I think, well, I can't possibly sell that. I just need more money and more space. And then I can just add to the fleet endlessly. I've told you what the next one is going to be. The next one, and I'm very specific about this. The next car is going to be a 2005 Discovery 3, the is it a 2.7 turbo diesel? In HSE trim in silver, obviously. That is going to be the next car, unless something else comes along that I really want in the meter. I mean, it's perfectly safe at the moment. I haven't got any money. This is all theoretical, assuming that large amounts of money suddenly appear from somewhere. I mean, you won't believe how skint I am at the moment. Obviously, I've spent a couple of bob this week in fuel and hotel and posh meals out. and I'm skint beyond belief. I'm so grateful that it's got a bit milder tonight, and I can turn the heating off because I'm rapidly running out of funds left to put any gas on the prepaid gas doings. Oh God! Oh, that was a full-on vodka burp. I can only apologise. But I'm very confident that money will start flowing in from somewhere. Don't know where, but as Alexander Pope wrote in Essays on Man, hope springs eternal in the human breast. And breasts, they're nice things, aren't they? I was having a look at Bernard's knockers the other day. Not in real life, sadly, but I can't believe I'm telling you this. As you know, part of Bernard's technique was when we'd gone off the boil, and I don't know, she'd gone and married somebody else, or just hadn't spoken to me for a couple of months, and she wanted to rekindle things. She would send them. Well, to begin with, she would send a sort of message saying, "Hi, how are you? Blah 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 blah." And we should blah 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 blah. And I would say, "No, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Not interested. It's no, no, no." And then she'd send a photo of her knockers. And as time went on, she just cut to the chase and sent a photo of her knockers without the preparatory messages. So it means that I've been able to arrange a nice little gallery of Bernard knockers over the years, and you can see the evolution. And I was having a look at that the other day. Oh, I'll tell you why I was looking at it. I was on the iMac, and so I could view the knockers on a 21.5-inch screen, which was very much a thing of joy. I enjoyed that very much indeed. you know, they're old friends, aren't they? It's nice to see how they've evolved. I fear, though, that the last one I have will possibly be the last. Haven't heard from Bernard. Haven't heard sight nor sound nor a sniff for over a month now. So she's probably got married or or had a baby or something. Ah. Is Joe the only guy who wears shorts when there is ice on the ground? Asked Cheeseburger. Not the only one. There are a few. Will you fit in the new red car? Asked Barry Scratter. I can fit in any car. I can fit in any car, no matter how unlikely it seems. We've had this conversation many times before, because I am a large gentleman. I'm 6'5", and the only cars that I've really struggled with, as I've told you, have been MG Midget, Triumph Spitfire, Mark One Lotus Esprit. I mean, I'm sure that there would be others that I would struggle with. I just happen not to have driven them. An original Ford GT40 being the obvious one, because Clarkson very famously, it was the car of his childhood adoration and dreams. And when he finally got the chance to drive one, he literally couldn't fit in it. And I'm the same size as Clarkson. So if he won't fit, I won't fit. But I will fit in the new red one. Don't you worry about that. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm going to go to town on that car. It's the most excited I've been about a car in the yard for as long as I can remember. God, I wish it was silver. Oh God, no, that's gone down the wrong hole. As the bishop said to the actress. Oh, don't worry, darlings, I'll just die here, live on camera. Oh, Joe says, ha ha, GC. I don't feel the cold in my legs because of a damaged nerve. So it's quite a funny thing to do in winter. Wear shorts. People look at me in a funny way. They do indeed. Buddy Scrotter says, hello, everyone. Uh, oh, Cheeseburger says, Joe, the neighbours would like them sold. Yes, they would. Oh, and you mentioned this in a comment on the video. If you've commented on videos this week, I won't have replied, and I apologise. Obviously, I've been off my tits busy. But of course, I will reply. You know, I reply to every single comment. 100% of the comments replied to. And that will always be the case. Even when I get as famous as Hubnut. God, he put it. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with Hubnut's style at the moment. But he put up a photo in a photo of the 10 years that the Hubnut channel has been going. And a photo of him in the same jumper from the first video and the video 10 years on. And God, he's not aging well. I mean, there was a time where Hubnut was a fine looking man. He had his hair cut, he sported a little goatee, and he looked grand. He looked a splendid chap. And now he's doing a weird hair and weird beard thing. And his head looks like Darth Vader, except a sort of hairy Darth Vader. Still, I mean, it's none of our business, is it? What does it matter? But just give her, I mean, 10 years. He's got over 100,000 subs now. So you think about it, that's 1,000 subs a year. No, it's not, is it? It's 10,000 subs a year. Oh, that's actually quite impressive, isn't it? Yeah, that is actually quite impressive. I suppose when you get to a certain level, then your videos are getting viewed so many times that the subs automatically roll in. I'm getting no new subs at the moment. It's absolutely, I don't know if it's the daily diaries or what, but I've gone from getting a couple of hundred a month to getting like 20 or 30 a month. And that happened around the same time as I started doing the daily diaries. And I think, I mean, I've started tweaking the title on the daily diaries to try and get some views from people that aren't already subscribed. But to be honest, I'm comfortable with it. Where I am at the moment, I'm comfortable with wanging videos out for the for my inner scrotum. I enjoy doing them. I hope you lot enjoy watching them. And if it means the channel isn't growing massively, then at the moment I'm okay with that because there are other things going on, So I don't mind a period where we sort of gather our wits together. And yeah, I mean, I haven't actually thought about this, let alone talked about it. But if the channel sort of trod water for the next 6 months, and we just did the daily diaries, the occasional other format video, and the live streams, I'd be okay with that over the next 6 months, to be honest, or at least over winter. I've got other things that I need to think about. I've got websites to build, sort some merch out, that sort of thing. And of course, I've got everything going on at work. That's really going to kick in at the end of this month when I lose my staff and I have to take a much more active hands-on role and physically run the place on a day-by-day basis. At the moment, as I mentioned the other day, was it on a live or is it in a video? There are staff in there at the moment that can effectively run the place, which is how we're able to do things as we are. When they go, then things are going to... Now, it is a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword because as long as they can do it, they do it their way. And I don't want the restaurant to be run their way. I want it to be run my way. But as things stand at the moment, that's not going to happen. Even if I was there full-time front of house, Um, it still wouldn't happen, because if I tried to put my foot down with a firm hand and said, right, you do it this way now, you do this, you do this, you do this, they'd just say, well, fuck you, I'm off at the end of the month anyway, bollocks. I mean, not like that. It's not like we're falling out or anything like that. Um, I got every good wish to them, to be honest. It's they're not going to be competition. They're far enough away that they're not competition. Bickass, we always knew he was always, he's been looking, just waiting for the opportunity to open his own restaurant. We all knew that was going to happen. And Sabana, Bickass is like a big brother to Sabana, because Sabana grew up minutes away from his house in Nepal, or his parents' house. And Bikass's brother was Sabana's best friend from childhood until now. They're both in the UK, so Sabana is obviously going to go with Bikass. And there are no hard feelings or anything like that. Um, quite the opposite. But yeah, so the end of the month, start of the new year, there are going to be changes. There's a flat potentially happening. So I'd be quite happy over the next period of months, um, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, for the channel just to tick over doing what we're doing now. That wouldn't bother me in the least. I would quite enjoy having that bit of time to sort of consolidate things, because there are things that if the channel is going to grow, there are things that I need to do. I need the website, I need the merch stores, I need the YouTube merch store, and I need my own merch store on my own website. We need the Mustard and Boaty Do Cars website, so that I can have have our own bespoke sales outlet for all of our. All of these things need to be done moving forward. And if I'm putting every second of every spare minute in the day into trying to push the channel, I'm not going to have a chance to do that, and I need to do it. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the channel just slowing down in terms of growth, or even virtually stagnating. And it'll give Mustard a chance to overtake me again on the subs, which I would be very happy about. And I genuinely would. That wasn't sarcastic. Anyway, Boaty asked Paddy Scratter, do you know of a drink called vodka and Russian? No. No, I've never heard of that. I know a black Russian and I know a white Russian, both of which involve vodka, but I've never heard of a vodka and Russian. Joe is uploading his day one video as we speak. I look forward to seeing that. Mustard asked Joe, are you promoting your channel on this live stream? Nope, not at all, says Joe. James Wilson is here. Hello, how are you, Boaty, and how's everyone? I'm great, James. Thank you for being here. Hope you're well too. Oh, and Barry says, crap, I'm 46 today. Go and cry somewhere else. You're a fetus. You're a mere child. But many happy returns of the day to Barry Scratter. Hope you've had a fabulous day. And don't worry, 46 is the new 21. I was on amazing form when I was 46. Still had all my teeth. I was, actually, what was I doing when I was 46? Let's think. How long ago is that? So the year would have been 2017. Oh, yeah, I was on top form. That would have been early days with Boo, I think. I would have been living here, and I would have been in the early days with Boo when we. Oh God, those were happy days. But there we are. Hope you've had a great day, buddy, and many happy returns from me, and I'm sure everybody else. Oh, and Mustard says, and yes, he really is a reverend. Yeah, I really am, for my sins, and much to everybody's surprise. you reckon I'd get more views if I mentioned in videos that I am actually the Reverend Parry Hughes? Monday night live stream with the very Reverend Jason Parry Hughes, and all of these, godly, God-fearing religious types turn up, and this drunken, toothless fat bloke just spouts pottering filth at them. I did mention it in. Did I not mention it in the bedtime stories? Did I not title those the Reverend Boaty's bedtime stories? Oh God, I think that was when my I think that's when my like to dislike video rating on the overall channel dipped below 99% and has stayed below 99% ever since. I'm on for anybody who's interested. You get an overall rating of likes against dislikes on your videos, and that affects your algorithm, as in how many people are shown your videos. And I am currently, I've gone up 0.1%. I've gone from 98.5 to 98.6. So please do like this live stream and any other video of mine that you watch, because it does make a difference. Like if I could get up back up over 99% again, that would improve my views, and that would improve my income, and that would make me a happy boaty. I could buy gas and all sorts. So if you haven't hit the like button, I'm showing 11 here. Please do. I don't bang on about it normally. Most people do. And I probably should do, because it genuinely does make a difference. And I will be very grateful. And I had soup for lunch today. I'm only telling you that because my dirty soup bowl is just up there. I'm a terrible fraud, I really am a fraud. I rock up for this live stream and you see a nice table, might be a bit dusty. Haven't had flowers there for God knows how long. But it's a nice, clear table. I'm in a nice jacket. The place looks like a nice place. If I turned the camera that way, you'd see the absolute fucking chaos of 4 days of. I got on top of a little bit of it today. I did a bit of washing up and I did a load of laundry. But when I come in, I got in from work tonight at 20 to 11. My lunch stuff was still on the table because I've just been, I've been up against time today. And all I do when I get in before the live stream, I just clear all of the crap over in that direction, and it stays there until the next day when hopefully I'll get time to deal with it. And you just see this nice tidy area. It's not like that at all. Fucking chaos over there. You think I'm joking? Right. Only just out of shot. Only just out of shot. Literally just out of shot. There's all my lunch stuff. My lidded Denby twin lug soup bowl. My proper Oriental soup spoon. I had some nice fresh crusty bread with nice butter, and there's the butter knife. And there's the big old bowl that it all came in. This is last night's supper, also not washed up. I did wash up today, but the stuff that I washed up today was from Sunday. It was from Sunday. I've literally, oh well, not literally, but I've almost literally not had time to wipe my ass this week, let alone do the washing up from Sunday. So this is from last night. This was last night's supper, and this did contain Chinese chicken curry. It was very nice as well. I went really heavy on the onion and white pepper. And I'm going to have to just give this a quick rinse because this is tonight's supper bowl. Not even clean. So it does help having a fixed live stream position because as long as I keep this little channel here, I mean, honest to God, if you could see over there, then I'm almost tempted to show you, but I'm not going to because of the shame. But there's I'll give you a very quick glimpse. There are bags of stuff. If I showed you right over the far end by my balsamics, you would be outraged. You would think less of me. Dear, oh dear. Got times marching on, isn't it? Where did I get to on the comments? Gomez, revolutionary kind, second verse. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. Oh man, says Baddy Scratter, sending best wishes to John. Poor John, says Mustard. I'm pretty near him if he needs anything, says Baddy Scratter. Crikey, John, thinking of you, says Cheeseburger. Hope you are better once the clot is gone. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Barry, says Cheeseburger. Joe says, I'm thinking of you, John. All the best with the clot removal. You're in safe hands, mate. Let's hope he is. Carlos is going to be up late. Oh, James. I'm sorry you're going through such an awful time, John. I hope all goes well for you. Music is a good thing to help you get through anything, especially the Beatles. But I hope you get better. Oh, are you a Beatles fan, James? You've never mentioned that. Best wishes from Barry to John and Trisha. Oh, Stephen S. Ball is with us. Evening, sons and daughters of England. How are we all? Cheeseburger says, Arkwright's back. He wouldn't give a refund neither. Large amounts of money, says Cheeseburger. You've made £293.50 tonight. Well, I'll tell you what I haven't. I'll tell you what happened. Right, again, no driver tonight. I've got a driver tomorrow and Saturday, but only one. I need two. So this all happened tonight when I wasn't there. What did they do? They gave a complete refund. A complete refund. Would I have done that had I been there? No. No, I wouldn't. To be honest, not that easily anyway. What's the point in taking a deposit if you just refund the deposit on the basis of one telephone call and an excuse that may or may not be genuine? Pointless, isn't it? Absolutely pointless. What I would probably have ended up doing, in the interests of goodwill and whatnot, I would probably have ended up doing pretty much what Cheeseburger suggested. So I would have made an immediate refund of 50%, because for Christmas Day I've been taking minimum 50% deposits on larger parties. Smaller parties, tables of under 6, no deposit at all. Take it on trust, because the majority of the people coming are regulars anyway, and they can be trusted. So I wouldn't have fallen out with the people, not at all, and I would have been very sympathetic. But I would have given, I'd have covered my ass, and I would probably have refunded 50% immediately. on the understanding that the remaining 50% would be refunded when we rebooked that table. But hey ho, I wasn't there, and they just refunded the lot immediately via the old credit card doings. It was paid by credit card, and they just put an immediate refund through. So there you go. That's what happened. So I haven't made £293.50 tonight cheeseburger. And even if I had, it wouldn't be mine, would it? It'd be the bloody restaurant's. If I could, says James, I'd have a Stigbut. I'd love him. A ZT V6 would be lovely. But I've got my lovely 45 at the moment, and I only need one car. But definitely my next car will be a 75. And I definitely want a KV6 so much. Skick says, cut your cloth, boat, and sell a car. Oh, a video title's coming in from Cheeseburger. Refund? I've spent it on vodka. I like that one. Oh, and Cheeseburger's on a roll. Bernard has her knockers. Bernard Manning says mustard, but I don't know what that's in relation to. Neil reckons he fits in a GT40, and I'm calling bollocks on that. I'm calling bollocks on that, which is a brave thing to call on a gentleman as large and muscular as Neil. But an original GT40, mate, not the later. Have you actually sat in an original Ford GT40? Where? How did that come about? Oh, it's huge on the inside, the new car. Wonderful. That's good news. Well, Saturday will be a sad one, says James, seeing David Tennant, whoever that is, regenerate again. God, you've driven one. Neil has driven an original GT40, and that is an impressive claim to fame. I can't match that. I cannot match that, and I'm very jealous. David Tennant will regenerate again. He should do another series as the 14th Doctor, not just the 50th specials. Looking forward to this last one, just not just the end. Okay. Cheeseburger thinks that Stephen is onto something. Each mustard and boaty car to be sold with a complimentary podgering pack. I'm stuck between whether it's an Audi or a Kia Picanto, says Buddy Scrotter, and that's talking about the new mustard and boaty car. I can neither confirm nor deny nor tell you if you're right nor wrong. He's that excited, says Bad Books. Mark, he could test drive a Tonka. Hubnut's mullet does my head in, says Buddy Scrotter. Oh, hang on. I'm going to look at this. Neil sent a picture. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, yes, he really has. God. You must have been snug in that, son. You must have been bloody snug in that. I mean, I've never sat in one. I don't know how tight they are. But Clarkson couldn't get anywhere near it. And you're not that much smaller than me, Neil. I mean, okay, I'm 6'5", but you're what? What are you, 6 foot? 6'1"? You must have been snug, dear boy. Oh, that is a great claim to fame, that is. I am impressed. Oh, hell, look at the time. Right, let's whiz through these comments and then I must let you good people go. Well, Cheeseburger has an opinion. Now hubby is about to get married, he has let himself go. Oh, no critic harsher than a... Boaty's podgering lube can also be used as hair gel, but not to curry sauce flavour. Cheeseburger, quite rightly in my opinion, says, you need new content to attract members. Nice to know you're comfortable with your position. Yeah, I know. I know what's done it. I know it's the Daily Diary format and they're taking over. And I know that they're not going to pull in new viewers. And I know they don't do amazing views. You know, if it's a really good daily diary, it'll do 400 or 500 views. A lot of them only do 100 or 200. But I'm genuinely okay with that at the moment. I've got a few long-term videos that are kind of flying. Just had my first 8,000 view video, and that's still going strong. Yeah, a few of them are doing well, earning money, just regularly bringing in numbers, and I'm genuinely okay with things for the time being. But I will put in the odd one to try and pull in a few new people, like hence not splitting Monday up. And when I was filming on Monday, I knew I was going to do that. So I was always going to have two videos. I was going to have the daily diary video and a standalone, I'll come up with the title, Driving a ZT from the Snow of the Peak District to the Horseshoe Pass in December. Something like that, something a bit attractive with a good thumbnail. Tug a few extra people in. Stephen S. Paul says, celibates tune into Hubnut is a worldwide sensation. Baris Grata says, I found Hubnut because of his Layla National video. I'm jealous of that. I found Hubnut because of the Rover 75 video. Tricia says, I think the new car in the yard is a Hyundai Amica. Oh, there we are. Ian's a good egg, says Stephen S. Paul. I always liked his content. To me, it's enjoyable. Carla says, who is streaming in 720 or above? My God, it's scary. My favourite Hubnut car, says James, will always be the lovely 45 V6 he had. Reminds me of my first 45. Same spec and a saloon, but his was a V6 and Neptune personal line velour seats. I always watch those videos. And the 75 he had too. Well, they were both sheds, James. His 75 was a dreadful shed, and his 45 was on the verge of being scrapped. And it wasn't even a connoisseur, it was a club. Although it is sad that went for scrap. Shouldn't have really. You should have saved that. Nighthawk says, Dan, thanks for the live. You're very welcome. Vodka and Russian is so nice. Try it if you can. Find any. I think Schweppes make it. It's pink. Oh. Right, jolly good. Oh, okay. Cheeseburger says, Boaty, is it worth leaving a live open tomorrow afternoon if people want to chat with John and offer support? That's quite a nice idea, actually. What do you think, guys? What cheesy means is that it's another live with no host. I just set up a live and leave the camera running. I've done it once or twice before. The idea being that people can jump into the comments as and when, and if John's got his headphones tomorrow when his wife comes, then John can let everybody know how he's doing, and people can offer. It's just a chance to hang out in the comments, but without me annoying you by sitting here wittering. That's not a bad idea, Cheeseburg. What do you think, everybody? Should we do that? Yes, says Mustard. I think you should mention your reverend status more often. Cheeseburger. Maybe I should actually. Seriously, maybe I should. Maybe that should be my thing. There can't be too many genuine clergymen who are prepared to go on live streams and spout the sort of filth that I do. Maybe I should mention it in the about section of the channel as well, something like that. No, I'll think about that. Cheeseburger says we can only like videos if we do like them. No, you can't. That's not true. Even if you hate them, you can hit the like button. There's nothing stopping you. You've just got to be hypocritical. Oh, up to 13 now. 13 likes. Uh, and Mustard says, I love telling people that my best mate is a drunken vicar. I love it when you make the reference to it. My favourite bits of there were two in your videos. The one was about the spoiler that will eventually end up on Brian, and you said, "But I think I promised that to Father Hackett." That made me spurt wine out when I heard that. And there was another one. I can't remember the video or the exact line, but it was something about being forced to share a caravan with a drunken priest. Carlos quite understandably says, I don't want my friends knowing I watched this nonsense. What do you mean the pictures are on the wonk against Stephen Espall? Is it? It's not. It's not. The wall is on the wonk, not the picture. 4 days washing up, get a cat, says Cheeseburger. I've been busy. I've been busy. I was away Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday I got back just in time to have a bath and go to work. Tuesday night I did a live and went to bed. Wednesday I got up and went to the yard, got back home, got changed, went straight to work, did a live, went to bed, and that brings us on to today. And today I had a bit of a lie-in that was very well deserved, and then I started editing and uploading. Don't judge me. I'll get on top of it. We're not all posh, Cheeseburger, with conservatories and dishwashers and staff. Oh dear. I'm far from OCD, says Bad Books, but I can't leave washing up. You can when you just have to leave the house or you have to sleep. I mean, it pains me to do it. It really pains me to do it, but sometimes you just have absolutely, excuse me, emergency. Oh, health, teeth. Yeah, I mean, you know that I am on the OCD spectrum, and you've got no idea how I mean, my mind is chaotic when I was all out of sorts on Wednesday when I was at the yard. I know I was, and I apologize for it. So much stuff going on in my mind, and part of it was that I'd come home to a mess and I'd left even more of a mess. And if my house is a mess, my mind is a mess. I mean, it's not a total mess, don't get me wrong, but it's enough of a mess to leave me a little discombobulated. I'm learning to deal with it because, you know, fortunately, I've got wonderful people in my life now and wonderful things happening in my life that means I don't obsess as much as I used to. So I can actually go to bed and sleep now when I've left washing up. Haven't always been able to do that. Needs must, Bad Book. I mean, bear in mind that I'm a bloke on my own. I've got no help. Not like I've got a little woman to help out. You know, when I've got to go out for the day or away overnight, or I've got to go to work, or I've got to go to bed because I'm just so tired. Hey ho. Why did you just put us on the wonk, for fuck's sake? You're not on the wonk. You are so firmly jammed into Sonia because you don't move anywhere now. I never take the phone out of the tripod. You are firmly. Oh, you've got me worrying now. No, you're not on the wonk. I heard Bungalow Bill had cats. And look what happened to him. He ended up killing. Mustard, says Bad Books. Boaty naming a cat wouldn't be fair on the cat. And Cheeseburger said, Bad Books, he would call it cooking fat, which is funny because obviously Cheeseburger doesn't do Facebook. So he doesn't know that I did have a cat called Cooking Fat. When we moved to Matlock Bath, we ended up with 3 cats, none of which were actually ours. They were cats that lived in the neighbourhood and decided to live with us. And the first cat that decided to live with us was actually owned by Mandy up the road, moved in about 4 days after we did, and who Boo and I loved dearly. We lost her on the main road in Matlock Bath, but we had her for about 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. And that cat was called Cooking Fat. And little Jess would go to school and talk about her new cat, Cooking Fat. And she had no idea what it meant. Didn't half make the teachers laugh though. So yeah, the cat, the first cat, her name was actually Daisy, but I always, as soon as she came to us, she was Cooking Fat. Cheeky bloody cat. I mean, you know the way that cats adopt you. We had absolutely no choice in the matter. Absolutely no choice. We moved in. Cooking Fat came and had a little nose around. For a couple of days, she sort of came in and out, and then and having done a complete tour of the house, just said, "Yep, this will do," and just moved in. And there was absolutely nothing we could do about it. Excuse me, emergency. Dear me. Ugh. Jimmy says he has forgotten what a pussy looks like, Cheeseburger. Um, really haven't. I would name a cat either Laguna or Garfield, says James. I would call my cat, if I wasn't allergic, Smudge, after the Smudge 2000 memes. Look them up. Oh, Cheeseburger. 6'3", Neil is. 6'3". My head hit the roof in the GT40. I've also driven a D-type Jag. Then we're talking about dogs. Joe says the daily diaries are brilliant, which is very kind. I need to whiz through these and let you go. Worst car, hands down, to even be in is a Mazda MX-5 Mark 1. No room whatsoever. I couldn't even shut the door. My leg wouldn't allow it. So uncomfortable and impractical. And yet, James, I owned one of those. Well, we owned one of those. I bought it as a Valentine's Day present for Mrs. Boaty, and I drove it on a road trip right across France, Black Betty. And when I first moved here, Black Betty was in the pits until Mrs. Boaty decided to reclaim her. And Mark says, James, I'm 6 foot and fit in my Mark 1 MX-5 comfortably. John wouldn't need headphones for the live. You would have to tell him that. Oh, good point, Cheeseburger. Ah, yes, of course. Because there would be no sound, would there? That makes it even more of a good idea. Philip Martin says, I'm going to buy an MG because of you. Oh, brilliant. Well done, you. And, oh, God, look at me being an influencer and shit. Somebody's buying an MG because of me. Fabulous. Do you want to buy one of mine? Apparently, I should get rid of some. Well, that's heated the kitchen up, says Cheeseburger. Emergency Gale Force 10, that says Mark. More tea, Vicar, says Trisha. And I think I've caught up. A few dog comments. Black Betty, wasn't that by Ram Jam, says Cheeseburger. And yeah, it was indeed. Oh, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Black Betty had a child, bam a lamb. The damn thing went wild. And that's who Black Betty was named after. Black Betty was a Mark what? Well, she wasn't an MX-5. She was a Unos Roadster, Japanese import, V-spec, lightweight, and much nicer than Furious Driving's one. I watched half of one of his videos, and Black Betty was much nicer. Black Betty was the 1.8, full leather, air conditioning, all the bits and pieces, drove like a dream. And that's it. I've caught up. And that means, oh God, it's 17 minutes past midnight. So I can go and wash one dish up so that I can have a bit of supper. Excuse me. Furious wants 25 grand for his Unas. I assume that's a joke. Oh dear. All right, darlings, I'm going to leave it at that. I love the idea of doing an open live for John tomorrow, so I may well do that. And if I started early enough, I'll pop in and out as well. But I need to get my video editing done first, I guess. Although I suppose if I just did it as an open live, then if I'm coming in and out doing a bit of work, I suppose it wouldn't matter, would it? I just wouldn't speak to you necessarily. I'd just sit and do what I normally do a bit of work, have a bit of lunch, make a little love, get down tonight. Oh dear. You're very welcome, Cheeseburger. I've enjoyed them. Oh dear, I can't read that one out. I can't read that one out. George Floyd, our 89 Bentley Turbo R. That's funny. No pottering on the table during the live, says Cheeseburger. I've got, the way this week has been, I've had nobody booked in this week. No, nobody, nothing. There has been, it has been and will be a week completely devoid of action. Earliest possibility is Sunday. There is a possibility of a bit of Sunday afternoon delight. Okay, darlings, right, that is it. I'm gonna leave you in peace and let you go. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me this week. It's been absolutely lovely being with you. It always is. Yeah, so there will probably be an open live tomorrow. And if I do it, then I'll just leave it going. I'll start it at some point in the afternoon when I've done my editing, and I'll probably leave it for as long as the internet lasts out. So I might even leave it all evening until I get home from work, and then just say a quick good night to you. And do remember, it's not me taking the piss or trying to be funny. As Cheeseburger said and suggested, it's there so that there's a community chat open for any of you, and especially for John, as a little bit of a lifeline to friends and community while he's holed up in a hospital bed, you know. So I think that's kind of a nice thing to do, isn't it? So there we are. There we are. Okay, have a safe and peaceful night, my loves. Again, many thanks to you all. Gosh, 18 likes now. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Have a safe and peaceful night. Hope you sleep well. Have the best day that you can tomorrow, and I will see you at some point tomorrow afternoon and evening. Much love to you all, and good night.